stupid. Okay, so we're gonna start. Okay, I still can't see me. Okay, well, hi everyone. I am Mochi. I've done live streams in the past month, and they've all disappeared from my Twitch page, so I don't know what went wrong, but right now I cannot see any of them except a 11 seconds mistake live streams that I did, and it really freaking sucks. I wanted to do an update on some comments that I've had, and essentially things that I wanted to address and things that I've changed into a month of having rabbits, bonding with them, and all those wonderful things. I have a list with me right there, and it's not a complete list, I would say. So let's start with, I think, number one. Now the rabbits are actually able to lay down, like with their back paws fully out and their front paws fully like this, and their head like closer to the floor. I'm able to get up and move around like without stressing them, to the point where they get up and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? So I like that. It's less stressful for them, but I feel like they're starting to trust me more and more, and I like that. Their litter box training got better. That is the number two things, the thing that I wrote on there. It actually was difficult at first, but I can say give them time. You have to be like really watching them, because rabbits have this, they would choose a spot where they will go to the bathroom, and if you know that spot is, example, mine is behind my door in the corner, so we put a corner litter box there, and they're doing better. We have another corner litter box for the cage, which I will address why I have a cage for them and they are not like fully free roamed. You have to like give them treats. Essentially what I did was to tap the corner of the litter box until they came into it, and then I gave them a little piece of dry coconut, or the other treat that we had, a little piece of a barley biscuit, and eventually they caught on, and now every time I open the cage in the morning or at night, they will run to that spot. And that is essentially, they also have a view of the room itself, everything about the room. They have this corner where they're not gonna get like surprised. Nothing is gonna come behind them to spook them, essentially. And with the rabbits, you have to do this until they catch on. There will still be accidents, like a little, you know, pee spot on the floor or on the bed. They used to pee in my bed, and apparently, oh, I did so much research for how to stop that, and it got better when I stopped using certain moisturizers or perfume. I had one liquid moisturizer from Bath and Body Works that they absolutely hated, and I discovered that essentially one time I was out of the bath, you know, I was clean and all that, and everything was okay up until I decided to put it on, and Nico, one of my rabbits, came next to me to pee. And at that point I realized, yeah, maybe they don't like that one, but they don't mind the other coconut one that I have. And I mean, it's kind of mean that I don't like certain smells, but I mean, they do smell a lot better than humans. So maybe for them it's unbearable, you know, I don't smell like them when I'm wearing this perfume or moisturizer. So I stopped using a lot of products to smell more like them, and so far it has worked. Like, from time to time there will be a little pee, and it happened this week, and it was because I changed into a different shirt, and maybe I didn't wash that specific shirt, but it was almost instantly. Nico came up to me and did not like whatever smell was on it, so he peed next to me. Pepper, the other rabbit that I have, also does that, but it's less intense. It got really better. Let's just say that. You need a lot of patience with rabbits, which I didn't expect it, because I've had a rabbit before, but I was a kid, and I'm gonna say this: kids should not have rabbits. Rabbits take a lot of special care. Like, you need to watch them as often as you can to at least make sure that they're okay. So this is also another thing that why I made live streams in the last month, was because I wanted to be able to watch them even if they just slept during the afternoon. I wanted to keep an eye, essentially. So I had my PlayStation 4 on my own live stream, and I was doing, laundry or, whatever else chore I needed to do. And still, glancing at the TV to see what's going on. And it has helped, because as much as I like it, always doing these back and forth to the cage, it's not fun, and also it spooks them. From time to time, when you approach them in the cage and they're just trying to chill or sleep, they get surprised. Which, I mean, I also do, but yeah. So another thing that I like is that in the last month I was able to really bond with them. Now when I get them out of the cage, they're not as stressed, they always come to see me. They'll run around for a few minutes and then they'll come to check up on me, and they will do that quite often. Whether I'm just trying to write in my journal or trying to write in the diary book that I have for them, because it's always good to keep up with their behaviors or any changes that there is, because if they get sick, you'll know that it's out of character for them to act a certain way. And Jesus, I'm being a little bit paranoid. I'm being a little bit paranoid most of the time, mostly in hot weather. My room has a problem, and it gets way too hot during the summer. So I've been trying to fix it. I got curtains. I got the start of a cardboard box, essentially cut up in pieces to cover up the window. And I got a fan, and I'm trying my best to keep them cool, keep the sun out, but still have, you know, wind or the AC. We also got an AC now, so we're probably going to get a playpen for the living room to let them chill, because I do not think that my room will get cold enough for the rabbits to feel comfortable. And honestly, keeping them cool has been like around the clock care, because I have to check for their nose to see if it's wet, their ears to see if it's too hot or there's, you know, signs of heat exhaustion or heat stroke, and I'm trying to keep them cool with a damp towel over the cage and the fan going. It's a cold damped towel, and it does cool them down. Changing the water every time it reaches a certain temperature. Yeah, it's a lot, but I really want them to not get sick or feel unwell, obviously. But I think all these efforts are actually worth it, because as much as I hate, you know, getting up at 7 a.m., because I do have a routine with them. You know, 7 a.m. we get up, I prepare everything in the room so they don't, you know, swallow masking tape or try to eat the wall or anything else. I also try to check, you know, if one of my cat is in the room with me, then I'll get it out. Changing their litter box before they're out is also a thing that I do, and it really does help. But then they're out for like 3 hours, and then I, you know, put them back in, and then they sleep the entire afternoon. So I kind of have the afternoon for myself, but I have a an amount of time before they fall asleep to take a nap, because waking up at 7 a.m. is not something fun. Because actually they wake up at 5 a.m. and sometimes I have to give them hay again or see what's going on. You know, they have toys in their cage, and sometimes it's just having their food bowl, you know, it's empty, so they just take it out of the mold, the plastic mold that's in the cage, to throw it around because it's empty. They're kind of quirky when they try to do that, but it's one of the things that they do at 5 a.m. and usually when I change, you know, when I put food or hay, they'll eat and then they'll go back to sleep for a while. And then at 7 a.m., well, a little bit before 7 a.m., they wake up and they essentially make enough noise for me to wake up so I can get the things ready earlier. And yeah, but it's actually fun in the morning, you know, even though I'm tired and they woke me up quite a few times. They do like binkies and they're all happy, and then after that they chill for a while. So they have these periods of like being super excited and need to get out, so I'll let them out. And in the evening, I also let them out 3 hours, to exhaust them at least until the next morning. So it's 6 hours of free roaming time. I do have to close my door because of my cats, which is why I have a cage. I have 3 cats. One of them is like still acting like a kitten. She just wants attention. She's more curious about the bunnies. She kind of like softly taps their heads and sniffs them. Then there's the fat one, which is Blackie. He is curious about them, but I'm like, he's a bit of an idiot. But I'm kind of scared because he has like really big paws. That if he tries to do something, he's gonna use his claws, and that worries me. And then we have the third cat, which is she's a bit aggressive. She's the hunter of the bunch. However, she does not get close to my room. If she does, she just checks me out and then, goes back out. She is not really curious about rabbits, so at least that's that. But I'm still gonna be on the lookout for her. And here's the thing, because, I've watched a lot of videos. Most rabbit YouTubers do want a semi or, often a free roaming rabbit, which I very much understand. Except, I got cats. One of them, Mimi, which is the first one I talked about, she has separation anxiety. Like, she meows a lot. And it's not like annoying meowing, it's just crying if I close the door and she's out of the room. Sometimes it's so bad that I can't go pee in the bathroom and I have to let her in, and she's just there meowing at me for no fucking reasons. But yeah, essentially I have to let one cat in, but I do not fully trust her yet with the bunnies. I did try to let her hang around the rabbits a little bit, and she did not care for them up until I think like 10 or 15 minutes in, that she spotted, Nico and started approaching him, and I just picked her up and put her outside of the room just in case. Although she was just curious, I don't want to risk one of the rabbits getting injured. But this comes back to why I have a cage. If there is something and one of my cats decides to attack the rabbits, the little like flimsy panels of that is recommended by rabbit YouTubers, or they're just metal panels that you can stack up and all that, but it is kind of flimsy. Cats can jump high, and my rabbits wouldn't stand a chance if I had this instead of a cage. With the cage, I have they have actually a hiding spot which they can both fit in. Surprisingly, they can both fit in, and they can be out of harm's way, which 2 of my cats can put their paws in, and usually they're just like tapping just to see like what's up with those little different animal in the cage that they're moved. They're not cats. They do try to kind of like tap on them, but it kind of still worries me, so you know, I moved the cats out of the way. But it's really in case, because I don't want to come home to dead rabbits. I really don't. And with the cage, I am sure that none of the cats will, you know, move the grates or jump over, and you know, because of the weight, you know, destroy the panels or whatever, and you know, the rabbits would have no chance. So that's really what I'm worried about. The cage, I do understand. So some people in the comments, or I think one, did say that the cage was small, and at first I didn't think so. Now I actually am thinking about getting a bigger cage. But seeing how they try to go up like the tiny stairs, I don't know if like a bigger cage with a kind of like ramp would be how do I say this? My rabbits can be dumbass sometimes. I mean, stupid. So I don't think, like, even if there was like a ramp, they would like go up on it flawlessly and gracefully. They would probably panic and then just fall off. And all of the shops that I've been to do not have a bigger cage. It's either a hutch for outside, or you know, these flimsy little cages. This is the biggest one that we've seen, and it was in only one shop. So that's pretty much it. But they can fully stand up and not really reach the top, which is something that I like, because when there is a towel to cool them down, they won't try to nip at it and, you know, eat fibers, which is not really digestible. And they can like fully lay down. It's just they choose to do it in some awkward ways. But I mean, they don't seem to mind. I do am, however, looking for a bigger cage that will protect them, because again, I got 3 cats. It's not something that I want to deal with, but at the same time, my room is really small. It's a tiny square. So I'm trying my best in terms of like the amount of space that they have and the stuff that I have to compromise in order to give them a better play area, you know, with toys and all that stuff, to stimulate them and make them, you know, happy rabbits. So that's another thing to that is okay. So about the cage thing, now the rabbits, you know, it's been a month, they're not afraid anymore if I try to pick up, you know, if I open the cage and I put my hand in it and, you know, pick up some hay or some stuff that's outside of the litter box. They don't care. They come to sniff me, essentially, and often they will want pets. So, or be in the way of me cleaning. But they are sweethearts. They're not afraid anymore. So in hot weather, I can just open the cage and, you know, touch their heads, touch their ears to see if it's, you know, if they're too warm. So I can even put, you know, my hand in their face and they won't give much, you know, they don't care. I've also been able to start touching their paws without them freaking out. So this will be very helpful for nail clipping, because I'm gonna have to do it. it's one of the essential things that a rabbit owner has to do, and I'm starting to feel more comfortable. Now their nails are not like too long yet, but it's something that I'm working on. You know, when it's gonna get too long, we're gonna be able to clip them without them freaking out at this, you know, maybe sound of it or the movement and all that. Yep. Oh yeah. The last thing to address really is about a water bottle instead of a bowl. The cage is too small to have a bowl of, you know, food and water, but it does have a water bottle. When they get out of the cage, you know, each morning and night, I replace the water because I do have a water bowl for them next to the cage. Except they ignore it most of the time. Recently, I had to put raspberries in it for them to give a shit about the bowl. They do prefer a water bottle over the bowl, but like I know that a bowl is more natural for a rabbit. So it's always good to have like two options, but when they are in the cage, they will tend to favor the water bottle. Now, some rabbit YouTubers were actually worried about, you know, bacterias and, you know, how it's hard to clean those water bottles and all that. I've seen different cleaners for those bottles, which is something that it looks pretty much like the same thing that you use to clean dishes, essentially, except it just goes to all of the sides of the bottles on the inside, so you can clean it up very easily. Also, if they do not ignore the ball, they like to throw it around or step in it, which makes a big mess. It's one of the things that I've been dealing with in the last month, pretty much since I got them. They do, like, sometimes they use it perfectly and they know that it's there and they have no problems, but like other times they're a bit clumsy and, you know, they will just try to pick up the border of the bowl and flip it, which did happen twice, and it's not fun, but, you know, it's something that I have to deal with, and I'm sure a heavier bowl would be better for them, honestly. So I've done pretty much everything that's on the list. Yep. They're still chilling in the cage. Also, one of the comments that was made about, you know, the cage is so small, this was a zoomed in angle of the food bowl, so I could see the detail of the rabbits more, because I knew that they were going to be in this one specific part of the cage. But it's actually quite long. I would have to measure it though, because it did not come like deconstructed. It came like fully how it is, and it barely fitted in the back of my mom's car, and it was a rough ride, let's just say that. But I think that, like, all of the stuff that I've done in the last month with, you know, curtains and getting them a rug so that they can grip on the floor, I got them, you know, those cute IKEA beds that they can also chew on. They're using it to pretty much mess around and eat the bed, but you know, they're using it. Um, Before that, they were using my bed as like this type of racetrack. I mean, it was funny, but yeah, now they have a big rug, and I'm planning on getting another one so they have like more surface area to run on. One thing that I'm being a little bit worried about is them trying to eat the carpet, which they have tried quite a few times, and carpet burns, which, you know, they have like fur all over their paws, so I thought they wouldn't get carpet burns, but when I googled it, they actually can. So you have to be careful when you do too much carpet, essentially. However, yeah, you need at least one carpet so they can grip on it, because otherwise on the floor, like hardwood floor, they slip. And as hilarious as it is, they can't run correctly, or they can't, like, they have to be careful. Because I noticed, like, when they're trying to walk, normally, it's one thing, but when they are on the hardwood floor, they kind of like hopping carefully just to not slip. They are still sleeping. One thing that I've seen also from rabbit YouTubers, I know I say that a lot, but I really have been paranoid that I wasn't going to be able to be a good rabbit mom or a good rabbit owner, and not provide them with all the stuff that they need, or that I am missing pieces of knowledge that I should have known. But, you know, and I'm Googling a lot of things. Sometimes it's like stupid questions like, do rabbit even farts? And sometimes it's more serious, related to what temperature is dangerous to a rabbit, so I can try to keep the temperature in between the good numbers so that they don't die of a heat stroke or something like that. It's a little bit silly, but I've been doing lots of research. I've been watching lots of videos by YouTubers to pretty much inform new rabbit owners, you know, the do's and don'ts of owning a rabbit, and it helped a lot. Like, when you get a rabbit, it's important to do a lot of research, because rabbits can get sick very easily. They can get themselves into trouble or stuck somewhere very easily too, and it's very worrying. Also, they will try to chew everything. So when I talked earlier, I mentioned masking tape, and masking tape is what I use because they started chewing the walls. Now we got them pieces of wood, sugar cane pieces, and apple wood sticks. We got them, you know, hay and all that, but they still, you know, wanted to chew their environment, including my desk and the chair. So I am going to change of desk and chair to something that they will not be able to chew on, because it is like varnished, and I am paranoid that if they eat it, they will get sick and die. Same with the walls and the paint. I've been monitoring the rabbits for quite a while. I had sleepless nights about this, thinking that they ate this one little piece of wood, but it has paint on it. They can get easily sick. So like in my head, I think of the worst and think, oh my god, they're gonna die. So I used masking tape because that's the only thing I had. Now, I had to Google what colors do rabbits see, and the first answer that I got, it's blue and green. The masking tape that I use is actually blue, so it stands out to them. Which is another thing that they've been trying to eat masking tape. They've actually successfully ate quite a few number of just tiny little bites of masking tape, but they're still okay. I'm really worried about blockage, so I got them these critical care papaya, like little pills thingy. It's by Oxbow. I got them the digestion pellets and all those stuff to make sure that there's no blockage, and I know what to do if there is a blockage, and if I really can't help my rabbit, of course a vet will be my last resort. We still haven't found a rabbit savvy vet yet. There is a few clinic that I've checked at, including one that that is helping a rabbit shelter, which I didn't even know that we had, because I live in a place that we don't have a lot of things that most people have. And I actually got surprised because I got mine again. I got my rabbits at a pet shop, and obviously you should not shop, you should adopt, because there's rabbits in shelters that actually do need homes, and I didn't know that. So yeah, they actually are with a clinic that I've looked on Google. It's not that far from my home, but I'm still like a little worried because I've seen reviews on Google that a little bit scared me, but at the same time, they have vets that actually know about bunnies because they're doing the desexing and a few other rabbit care. So it's a good place, but I mean, budget wise, I'm still saving. The rabbits are still very young, so we still have time. Well, I mean, they're like 3 months old, but they're not like exhibiting territorial or hormonal changes yet. So I'm slowly saving my money. My budget is small, and we have 2 rabbits. It's better than one because they are very social animals. And one other thing also, there was, okay, so I've been watching a lot of rabbit YouTubers and all that, like I mentioned fucking 1,000 times. A lot of people in the comments were commenting that their rabbits died. And it was worrying because so many comments in each videos that I watched had a comment similar to that. My rabbit died, you know, a year ago or 2 months ago. My rabbit died yesterday. We don't know what happened and all that. And it's just like, Jesus fucking Christ, how many just, they die so easily. I just, these comments made me really paranoid that my rabbits could die just like this, and that from like the next day that they could be gone. And it's just, man, some comments get to me, which is stupid, but yeah. You know, I watched videos to educate me on what to do and what not to do, how to bond with your rabbits, you know, what to do to not, to make them not hate you. Because sometimes they would get into trouble, like places that they shouldn't, and they would then freak the fuck out, and I get worried. Sometimes they even try to get on my windowsill, and then they freak out. The surface is not meant for rabbits. They fall off, and I can tell that it seems like a pretty big fall. The way that they fell, and it gets me worried, but they're just acting like, you know, nothing happened. If there is something, most of the time when they like fail to get on my bed, which is now on the floor, or they fail to make a turn, they look more offended at their own mistake than anything else. And you know, I'm always like, oh my god, what the fuck, you know, what happened, what can I do? But they're just like, it's just, they missed a step, so it just landed like this instead of on the bed fully. Personality wise, it's quite mixed, because one of them is outgoing and the other one is a little bit more shy. But sometimes, you know, the other one gets shy and the other one's like, hey, what's up? And they're doing great. They're just, again, still sleeping, so I'm not bothering them. But yeah, you know, one of them likes to chew on things more. Nico is the one who is more not afraid of people, and he's the one who's gonna come to sniff me or, you know, lay next to me with his paws fully, you know, not under his body, and he just chills. You know, I started rubbing the top of their heads when they're just fully laid down, and they seem to love it. They made this sound with their teeth, and they close their eyes. They're, like, really cute. But yeah, they really love the sugar canes, which is why I actually did a live stream of them destroying a sugar cane. But like I said at the start, I don't understand why a lot of my actual live streams disappeared. So it might be a mistake, or I don't know what's going on, but a lot of them actually disappeared, and I don't know what's going on. I haven't been using, you know, Twitch for a long time, so I have been saving my live streams, and it feels like I wasted a month of documenting them for no reasons, I guess. I mean, I did want to, like, do this surveillance type of thing when it comes to doing chores in the other room, but still having an eye on them. And then I just did it because I thought, you know, people should be able to see sleeping rabbits because sleeping rabbits look so peaceful. They're really, really, really cute. They're really cute, so I wanted to show that. And in the live stream, well, the last one, we see me being a mess. I mean, I'm glad that's gone if it's gone, but at the same time, I feel like it's just hours gone, and I wish I could have them back because I can rewatch my bunnies being cute while they're just sleeping, or, you know. One thing they also do is just come up to me to sniff my face, which they've been doing more and more, and now when I'm laying down, they're just like jumping on me, trying to sniff me, or just, you know, snip at my clothing and all that. So they're not as shy as they used to be, which is really great. I'm looking into like more toys and more stuff that they would be more, you know, still more comfortable or, you know, playing and all that, because they are still, okay, it's a seagrass stick. They're still like young, so I can't really give them like too much. Okay, well, I mean, the only thing that I gave them is dried apples and raspberries. That's it. And the raspberries are for really hot days when the sugar can still like keep them up and, you know, give them a little bit of energy, even though they're just laying down and conserving their energy, because obviously when it gets really hot it's hard to breathe and it's just overall hell in the whole apartment, and that's why we got an AC this year. And I want to be able to cool them down way easier, honestly. Yeah, because it's really not fun to deal with seeing your rabbits looking more exhausted because of the heat. You know, they don't want to move much. I reduce their playtime a lot so that, you know, their little hearts don't give up. I'm honestly scared of them dying. It's a big worry of mine. Yeah. I've grown really attached to my rabbits, so I'm really like giving my 110%, and I'm really happy to have come this far, cause yeah, I mean, I wish I would be able. I can't say words today. I wish I was able to show their personality more and like edit videos on YouTube and all that, but I don't have a computer. You know, I'm doing streaming out of my phone, but yeah, I wish I could give more rabbit content and, you know, keep up with them, and it's really more for me than for anyone else. But like I said, yeah, come and view them. I mean, if you enjoy sleeping rabbits or just them hanging out, I guess, join, watch them, fall asleep to them, I guess, sleeping also. But they are very well taken care of. So something else that I forgot to say. A lot of rabbit YouTubers that I watch have this like cat litter box with like one part either like recycled paper, hay, and like I use bedding to really absorb more of the piss, and then I use a little bit of their newspaper pellet thingy. It's like, it is paper, but it's in pellet form. Um, it works really great for them. And then I put hay on top, because I've noticed that if I just put hay in a litter box, they will, you know, Jesus, they will do their business in there and will not care. And for me, it's easier to pick up if I put, you know, a recycled paper bedding. I don't use, you know, wood pieces, wood chips, or anything like that. I use recycled paper. It's easier to clean up, but it absorbs really freaking well, and I'm not as worried if they try to eat it, which they try sometimes. It's really weird. But I keep up with, you know, what's in their litter box to see if there's any sign of, you know, a blockage, or they're sick or anything like that. It helps keeping track of them being healthy. And like I said, they are a lot of work. I only got 2. I think I could do 3 or 4, but I would need another cage or a really big one, and a bigger room, because I mean, 4 rabbits running around, it would be a lot. But 2 rabbits is enough for now, and you know, I already got 3 cats to also take care of, which, although they are independent, no one, you know, the people I live with, which is my family, they don't really do the give them water, or, you know, give them food, unless the cats, you know, really meows. But that is often because there is only one bowl for 3 cats. So in the morning, when it's empty, you're gonna hear them complain about it. We also have only 1 litter box because we don't have other, you know, a big apartment, so we don't have another place to put another litter box for the cats to go. And that means that I need to do the litter box at least once or twice a day, and sometimes there are messes, and at the moment I'm the only one who really cares for the cats and the bunnies. So yeah, I mean, I don't have a life, social or, you know, work related. I don't work, but I want to get, you know, a job this summer. I do, but at the same time, summer is one of the worst season to keep up the rabbits because of the temperature. It would be easier in fall or winter or even spring, which seems like a bad reason, but my room is easy to keep track of when it's cold, not when it's hot. And it sucks, but that's how it is. And at least I can, you know, I clean a lot, I cook, I do a lot of chores, so at least my mom is not like over, well, you know, she works a lot, so she doesn't come home to a place that's, you know, freaking dirty. I try my best, but yeah, and I can keep up with the rabbits and I can keep up with the cats as much as I can. From time to time I will get like free time and you know, nothing to do, so I just go out and have a walk. I mean, I make it seem like it's like once a month I get a walk, but it's more than that. Because you can't just vacuum every day. My god, yes, rabbits are really messy. You will clean every day. Whether it's hay or, you know, fur, sometimes little poops and all that, you will have to clean it. It's one of the things that I can easily keep up with because it's something that I do. One thing that I am scared of is really the vacuum, and it's not for me. Rabbits can get a heart attack from a loud sound, and I'm scared of like turning the vacuum on. And again, I'm scared of them dying a lot, so I'm like, should I pass the vacuum or just take the fucking broom? And I feel like they've gotten a little bit used to it. I use the broom in my room, and usually if I pass a vacuum, I close my door. And I've noticed that when I do that, they don't hide in their hiding spot, they stay out. So they're just like a little bit tensed. But, you know, they don't start running around to hide, they're just like tense. Which is better than what it used to be, which is really just go for the hiding spot, which I totally understand. Vacuums can get pretty loud, but I can't hold the noise off forever, and I think it's normal for rabbit moms or rabbit dads to just be paranoid of turning on, you know, certain appliance, thinking that it's gonna be too loud for them. When I'm chilling in my room and they're out, you know, out of their cage, just doing stuff, I put the volume of my phone actually very low, because I'm thinking like I can still hear the video, but they can hear it probably twice or, you know, 3 times louder than me. So I'm just, you know, gonna put the volume down a little bit, but I'm gonna get them used to actually have, you know, some background noise, whether it be music or just, you know, commentary channel or stuff like that. Right now the sound outside, which is not very pleasant to the ears, is one of the bike of some of the kids of the neighborhood. The rabbits don't seem to really care about the noise, even though it really hurts my ears. They don't seem to really care, so at least there's that. Some of the kids can be annoying, but otherwise it's, you know, I gotta say, one thing that I am worried about, which happened yesterday, and I'm gonna say that before I actually leave. Yesterday, the fire alarm of the whole building, which is hallway, and in each room we have this thingy here which screams really loud sound, and it's not pleasant to the ears. I had my headphones yesterday, so it wasn't that bad, but when I removed them it was unbearable. turns out there was a false alarm. The AC in the hallway triggered the fire alarm because it was too cold, essentially. The engineering and the... oh, fuck, I don't know how it's called in English. L'architecture, I guess, of this building is really bad. So we have really bad designs. Whether it be something practical or, you know, some stuff that we have is really cheap, therefore it always breaks. The shower door handle always breaks. And apparently all of the apartments around us have this problem too. In the hallway, the problem that was going on is the hallway, because of the giant windows that cannot be open, the sun was doing this, the sun was doing his thing, which is just heat up the place, and it became unbearably hot. And apparently there was one building where the windows kept breaking because of the heat in the summer, which doesn't surprise me because it really became unfucking bearable. And okay, I'm getting messages, which I usually don't. But yeah, the building windows kept breaking because of the heat. So this year they put AC units in every building. But now here's the thing. Because of the outside temperature versus the inside, when it's too cold, it triggers the fire alarm, thinking that there is a problem and that everyone needs to evacuate, which is very useful, except it kept doing it. And in like 2 days, the firefighters came like 3 times for 3 different buildings, and yeah, they need to fix it. Except we had to evacuate without the cats, without the rabbits, because obviously the sound is freaking them off. And it's freaking me off too, because it's so fucking loud and my ears just cannot take it. I do have sensitive ears, but like this loud sound, like you cannot sleep through this. You would have to be dead to not hear this. Or deaf, yeah. But even then, you could actually feel the vibrations because it has an the way the sound is, it kind of like vibrates. I don't know how to say it, but when it rings, you can actually feel it in your eardrum that it, you know, vibrates. It's not pleasant. I had to cover the cage with 3 different blankies. And had to evacuate quickly. I am going to get stickers for my door saying that there is 2 rabbits and possibly 1 cat in my room, in case like there is a fire or something like that. I could not get them, even if I wanted to, you know. When this thing is blaring its ass off, I cannot just take the rabbits calmly into their pet carrier and, you know, carrying them down. They're gonna freak out. And they did freak out a lot. And it took a while for, you know... By the way, the firefighters came in like 3 minutes. They really are close. And then it was over and we could go back in. My cat was not very happy. This is the kitty in question, but you can only see tail and ears. They came very quickly, which is reassuring, but, you know, leaving the rabbits there was not a decision that, if it was really an emergency, I would have left with the rabbits and my cat. If any of them fought me, I would probably just have my cat in my hand and the rabbits in the pet carrier and just hold on very tight while I get my ass out. I do believe the other two cats would be able to hide or just, yeah. I mean, that's a lot of animals to take care of. I mean, Bucky would make it. And Yogurt is just an escape artist, so they're probably think that it would make it. But even then, my mom does love her cat, and my stepsister would probably take her cat too, so... Bucky cannot fit in any pet carrier because he's too fat, but he doesn't mind being held. So there's that. He doesn't fight it either, so. But yeah, it's not something that I wish to happen, honestly. I mean, the building managers are fixing the AC so it doesn't freaking screams because it's just too cold. But putting the blankie on did seem to actually make them just tense. And I did, you know, reassure them after that. They were not like too freaked out because I put my hand in the cage and I stroked them, you know, gently after giving them a treat and, you know, saying, oh, it's gonna be okay, and trying to reassure them. And not even 15 minutes later, they were both out and just being like, what happened? They seemed a bit confused, but maybe that's just me. But yeah, that is, I guess, an update on addressing things that happen in a month. And, you know, when you first get your rabbits, they're not gonna get used to you. They're not gonna be used to you because, you know, you just got them, so they are a bit wary. But the more and more you pass time with them, the more they're gonna bond with you. If you're a good rabbit mom or dad, or, you know, whatever in between, you can bond with your rabbit very easily. You just have to find out, you know, how your rabbit is and do the right thing. But yeah, I'm Mochi, and this was the first live stream where I actually talked, and I guess just really was in it, not by mistake. So I'll see anyone who watches this maybe next time. Bye.